Hello, hello. Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmy from Emmy Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. Um, Kind of like in a, I don't know, like a la-di-da type of headspace. I don't know what it is. All right. I asked what this reading was going to be about, and I heard what's left to say. What's left to say? So, I don't know. I don't know if this is about you communicating your needs, or maybe it has to do with someone else communicating their needs to you, or I don't know. I don't want to deal with drama today. I would just like things to be as like neutral and gentle as possible. That's what I would personally like. Let me turn off my heater. My hand warmer is warm now. Yeah, I would like for today to be just gentle AF and no bickering with anyone and no like drama filled anything, just peacefulness. All right. 1, 2, 3. I don't know that it's going to be. I don't know that it's going to be. With the way these cards pulled out, let's see what happens. So card number 10, Neptune sacrifice. Okay, first and foremost, I'm sorry, like my brain is out of it. This reading is for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Also for your cross watchers. Also for those of us who find ourselves on this channel without any Piscean anything. You're probably an empath. You're probably needing messages from your soul. Okay, so Pisces and empaths, this reading is for you. It's a general reading. It doesn't necessarily have to apply to you. Just kind of sit back, have a listen, and see where it takes you. All right. Card number 10, Neptune sacrifice. The whole idea of compassion is based on a keen awareness of the interdependence of all these living beings, which are all part of one another and all involved in one another. Wow. That quote alone is by Thomas Merton. That quote alone, it's like, this is someone that you are interconnected with. Okay, this is someone you're not just going to ignore what's happening. This is affecting you in some way, shape, or form. Okay, this is quite possibly someone you love. This is quite possibly someone who maybe loves you, and it's something that keeps the two of you interconnected in some way, shape, or form. Now, I don't know if you guys have contact or maybe you don't. Let's see what else. You're being directed into an area which may feel like it's an unknowable. Surrendering to the mystery may work best now. Okay. So that's basically telling me like some things are better left just experienced rather than you trying to know it ahead of time. So Neptune is a place of beauty and that which is ethereal and not so easily reached. I'm wondering, like, is this someone who wants so badly to reach you, but they don't know how? They don't know how to bridge the gap that was created. They don't know how to bridge the gap. They find you ridiculously beautiful and ethereal. Okay. So Neptune is inspired visions coupled with nebulous thinking. It represents glamour, the word glamour coming from the French word grimoire, and connected to the word grammar, meaning to create magic or cast a spell. Okay, so one of two things pops in my head. Are they accusing you of casting a spell on them and that's why they can't get past you and thoughts of you? Or is this someone who no, 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 no. I don't remember. I said I don't want drama today. I don't want drama today. We're not going to go there with this. We're not going to start thinking that people are doing things. Okay. So, okay. This card, let's see. It will be difficult to get to the bottom of the issue. You may see smoke and mirrors, find yourself engulfed in nefarious mist with blame cast on the wrong person. Okay. What is this? It's feeling like this has to do with someone who's going through something, right? So the very first thing we talked about was that quote, the idea of compassion is based on a keen awareness of the interdependence of all of us. Now, all involved in one another. I'm wondering if someone's relationship is ending or has ended. And it's almost this thing of even if you haven't been in contact with this individual, it's almost like you're being blamed for the end of something. Why? Why? You may be caught in a situation which is unclear. Neptune represents self-destructiveness and self-sabotage. I wonder if they're whoever they are, their connection kind of imploded. Like they maybe one of them sabotaged the whole thing. Maybe one of them couldn't or wouldn't listen to the other in the relationship that they have. I'm almost damn. Would they comparing someone to you? Oh my gosh. Okay, let me hold on. I gotta spray myself. I can't even get sentences out. Okay, just had to spray myself with some rose water. Okay, I'm getting back centered. So I don't know if I'm picking up on the right thing. I'm getting that someone was in a relationship, not with you. They were in a relationship with someone else, and they kept comparing that someone else to you for quite some time. So, if that's the case, this is someone you already know. I wonder if this is like your ex or something. So they kept comparing their new or current relationship to you, and obviously, I mean, they're not going to be able to compare to you. I'm just saying, Pisces and empaths, we have a different level of cray. It's hard to be reached by non-Piscean, non-empathic people. It's just a whole different brand of cray. And they like that. That's a thing. They liked what they see in you. They like it. But then why did they move on? That's the thing. Let's not romanticize that. If they liked you so much, why did they move on? The fact still remains they started a completely different relationship that doesn't involve you. So now it's like, okay, so then what do you need to do about this? I don't think you need to do anything. They got themselves into this situation. They created this situation for themselves. So let them figure out what they're supposed to do. Ooh, don't delay. Don't be late. Mandatory. Okay. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're doing. And wait, I want to know what this is further. So it's kind of this sense like when I quiet myself, it's sort of this sense of they weren't just, in this relationship super desperate and, no. It's this thing of like, they had genuine desire to be in a relationship with whoever this is. And it worked for a little bit. But this person is so insecure. I'm wondering if they told the person about you. This person is so insecure, and it's just kind of that insecurity took its toll. It finally took its toll, and now this person, really just cannot let go of the fact that you exist. Unfortunately, you're going to keep existing. You're not going to stop existing just because someone's insecure about your existence. I don't think so. So now the person continues to drag you into whatever their issue is. Okay, that makes more sense. That makes more sense. So, okay. All right, we can keep going. That's why someone is caught in a situation that's unclear. The reasons behind it may not make sense or are being withheld. So that's why they're considering you, because you've been such a prominent fixture in their life this whole time. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if that's, I don't know. Another manifestation of this card is that you may find difficulties getting on the right path or in clarifying a direction. On the other hand, you may be extremely tuned in at the present time, sensing emotions, having visions. And if this is the case, what is below the surface is now being brought out. Okay. So this is someone that you definitely have some sort of like soul connection with. Um, if you're resonating with this and you find yourself like nodding your head, like, I knew it, I knew it. This is someone you have a soul connection with, and you're picking up on a lot of their issues right now, a lot of the struggles that they're having in the ending of their relationship, right? And let's see. Be careful of trickery and playing emotional games. If a beautiful person enters your life, test the relationship. He or she may be too good to be true or the love of your life. Well, I mean, be careful about testing relationships. You know, you might come across someone like me who just, you want to test? Okay, I'm not taking your class. I don't think so. Why test things? There's no point in testing things. Just allow yourself to observe. And if you see what you like or you like what you see, then continue. The moment you don't like what you see, then stop. Don't play these games of testing people. That's just, I'm gonna be really blunt here. That's stupid. That's it's stupid. It is. It is. And if you're getting pissed off that I'm saying it's stupid because you like to test people, this is probably not the right channel for you. This is not the channel for games. This is not the channel for bullshittery. You know what I mean? Like, be a fucking adult. Either choose to bond with people or don't. Don't be a time waster testing people, testing their loyalty. People who test you for your loyalty don't deserve it. Bada bing, bada boom. Yeah, no, I said what I said. I'm not sorry I said it. I don't need bullshit like that in my life. Neither do you. Seriously. People who test friendships, who test loyalty, who test your level of love, your level of tolerance, all of that, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. That's high school shit. Unless you're in high school, leave that shit in high school. I'm riled up now. Now we ready. Now we're really going to speak truth. I'm okay. Card number 40, water element sensing. Your intellect may be confused, but your emotions will never lie to you. Mm-hmm. Do not intellectualize people's games, okay? Don't try and be like, oh, but hurt people hurt people. And so I need to heal you. I need to love you beyond your wounds and heal you. No, no, no. You can be a masochist if you want, but not in that way. Make sure it's something that's actually pleasurable. I'm just saying. You could totally be a masochist if you want. You can like, find a partner who will paddle you or something. That's more pleasurable than this like logic of, I'm going to look for the most painful person I could possibly find and I'm going to love them into wholeness. You're not. You're just not. No. The only time that can happen is when the person is already seeking out their wholeness. They want to be whole, and it just so happens that you're the one in their life when that happens. Let that sink in. This is not, yes, this is a Piscean channel. No, it's not like that typical Piscean romanticize everything. And yes, I am Piscean before you start getting offended. I am Piscean, but here's my saving grace. I have Cap Moon who slaps the hell out of my Piscean, tells her to sit the F down, have some juice, take a nap because you're not thinking straight, fishy, fishy. You're not thinking straight, fishy, fishy. Lay back, drink some juice, take a motherfucking nap. Okay? Thank God for that Cap Moon. Or else I totally buy into the BS that we are told we should do to be, you know what, the perfect lover, the perfect boyfriend or girlfriend. Uh-uh. Uh-uh. No. That narrative needs to stop. So water element sensing, let matters flow. You can trust what you feel is the best course to follow. What you are sensing right now may not be based on any logic. It's just that what you're sensing is correct. Right now, it's the best to go with the flow, and depending upon the card surrounding it, to trust the movement. You cannot sacrifice yourself for someone who's not even worthy of you. Let that sink in. Take a sip of it. There's a cup of truth. I just handed it to you. Take a sip. Let your thirsty ass just sip slowly, rehydrate yourself so that way it's not something that's going to get you all up in some unnecessary drama, because really, you can feel what's going on. You can feel it. You have a very good idea of where this is headed. It might not make sense. Okay? It might not make sense. Your intuition is highly calibrated right now. I find that when we're in a period of Mercury retrograde, which we are, um, your sense of what's going on becomes heightened. And the problem is not Mercury. The problem is that you keep trying to tell yourself that you're not as intuitive as you actually are. That's how you end up convincing yourself that you're lying to yourself. And then you start to believe the words of a liar. Why do we do this? Why do we convince ourselves that we're lying and that we should believe the person who actually is the liar? That makes no kind of sense whatsoever, you guys. Okay. This card indicates a need to withdraw and fight another day. It's time to gather resources and gain strength before moving ahead. So whatever was kind of like getting started, the steam was building in that engine. They were going to start chugga chugga choo choo over to you. There's no more chugga chugga. There's just a little bit of a choo 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 like that. It's not even like choo choo. No. It's a choo choo. It's losing steam. Whoever this was, if they were going to come forward, they're not doing it now. They're not doing it now. They have to go through their process and get themselves solidified, get themselves in, first off, their own space, whether it's in their head or in real life, like moving into their own place. That's important. Why? Okay, here, let's make an analogy. So there's this amazing plant, right? You like these type of plants, but you're not really well versed in plants. You're just a novice. You're just learning how to take care of plants. This plant, unfortunately, was not treated properly. Let's make it an orchid. More people can relate when it comes to orchid. So there was this orchid. It was amazingly beautiful, and unfortunately, it was not watered properly. Its leaves are drooped and shriveled. All the flowers are basically falling off. You don't really know how to take care of orchids, right? You want to learn. You love orchids. Orchids are gorgeous, but you don't really know how. Are you going to buy that orchid and rehab it? But you don't know how, right? Or would you rather um, that orchid go to someone who knows how to actually rehab orchids? And then once it's solid again, you can bring it home and enjoy its beauty. Sometimes people need to heal away from you in order to develop enough to be worthy to be with you. You may be a healer, but not everyone wants your healing. Not everyone wants to give you the permission to be the one to help them to heal. Some people hold you in such a high regard that they are ashamed to let you see how deeply they've hurt in your absence. So give them that freedom. Let them heal wherever and with whoever they choose to be part of their healing journey. If one day they choose to be a part of your journey, beautiful. If that day never comes, that's still beautiful, because at least you know and you can trust that they have healed themselves, that you are not simply adding to more wounds, further inflicting pain. Not everyone has a maturity to be in a close connection with someone who is empathic or Piscean. Not everyone can. That's the sad reality of it. Okay, Pisceans, when you're balanced, all you want to do is love and help heal and cater to and all of this really cute stuff. Sometimes it enables the festering of their wounds. And so they can't come forward to you, at least not yet. For some, not ever. You're going to have to be okay with that. We're going to have to begin realizing and accepting we're not medicine for everyone's soul. If someone has an allergy problem, why would you give them a heart medication? If someone has an issue with their headache, are you going to give them gout medication? No. So you might not even be the medicine they need in this moment. Love and trust this person enough that you know that they know what they need and when they need it. And rest assured, I'm being told to say, rest assured, there's this beautiful little space within their mind that you always live in. You're always on their thoughts. I'm told to tell you what the little space is called. It's called the throne room. Some people will live a large portion of their lives trying to accrue enough experience that they could hopefully one day mature enough to be worthy to stand before you. I mean, that's beautiful. As a Piscean, as an empath, I don't feel like people need to go through the trouble, right? They don't need to go through the trouble. I can accept them as they are. And maybe this is the type of person who sees this about you, that you have the capacity to love in this way, at this depth, with zero expectation, zero prerequisites. And that's why they want to do this. That's why they feel it's so important to go through what they go through, develop in the way they're going to develop, so that they could actually be worthy of you. For some, whoever this is, they see you as the end all be all. You are the epitome of the dream they have of who they want to be with in this life. And I don't know. I'm being toxic right now. I was like, maybe I should break up with my husband so he can fight to win me back again. We've never broken up. Oh my god. Maybe we should just go out to lunch. Oh shit. What the hell was that? Oh my God. Toxic Pisces popping its head out. I don't know where that came from. Break up with my husband of 20 something years so he can fight to win me back. You know what it is? He needs to take me out to lunch and we need to just watch a movie. I need to take a nap. He can spray me a few times. He can get my attitude adjuster paddle me a few times and then call it a day. Fuck you, Mercury, and your stupid ass ideas. Y'all heard me. I said it. Fuck you, Mercury, and your stupid ass ideas. For all I know, my husband be like, you too much. I'm not fighting for shit. I'm taking a nap. Mercury, your stupid ass ideas. Mercury's a trick ass hoe. Moonrock says he needs to feed me. I need some more crackers. Hold on. This is a shit. I'm just saying. Simple Mills almond flour crackers, fine ground sea salt, Costco sized. I'm just saying. You know, this has saved my life many times. Let's just keep it moving forward. Okay. Okay. This card represents being connected to the flow of all things. It's also the ability to keep a secret or to work alone in privacy. So someone's needing to work alone in privacy. Okay. They're needing to work alone. Like as much as they, you know, are inspired by you. I don't know. I don't think they need to come forward right now. I don't think they will, to be honest. I don't think they're going to come forward. I think what's going to end up happening is they're going to go through whatever process they need to go through. And, well, y'all are going to hate me. It's not time for you guys. It's not time. They're going to start another relationship. Not with you, with someone else. They need at least one more crash and burn before they come forward to you. Don't wait around. Don't wait around. I'm serious. Live your life. Live your life. Be with people who want to be with you now. Don't sit and wait for someone to be good and ready to approach you. Live your life now. Live your life now. And if one day they decide to come forward and you've already found someone that you're willing to commit to in that way, that's just too bad for them, isn't it? That's just too bad for them. Then that means it's not in this lifetime that you're meant to experience this together. It means it's in a different life, not this one. It has to be a different life. There's so much that goes on in the planning of a lifetime that souls talk about before they come into this life. Some lifetimes it's enough for you to just know they exist. Sometimes that has to be enough. The simple knowing that they exist and giving yourself the freedom to live your life without them. You don't always have to be in a romantic relationship with a person just because your soul has history with them. I mean, do you know how many people my soul has history with? Do you know how many? At least all of you. At the very least, my soul has history with all of you. Am I supposed to be romantic with all of you? I mean, I'm pretty sure I'll break half of you. I'm just saying, toxic Pisces. Cheers. I'm difficult to be in a relationship with, I'm telling you. I'm extremely difficult to be in a relationship with. I am not in denial of that. I'm so not in denial of that. All right, card number 11, Pluto transformation. People living deeply have no fear of death. Anais, stop it. And maybe that's a problem. Maybe you're afraid of the depth, and that's why you feel like if this person doesn't come around, if this is resonating, if they don't come around, you'll never have the opportunity to live as deeply as you know you can. And unless you live with that level of depth, that somehow you'll cease to exist, you won't be worthy. I don't know if that's the truth. You don't need a specific person to bring you down to the depth that you think you can exist at. If you can exist at that depth, you can go there by yourself. That's like the equivalent of saying that a deep sea diver must bring a deep sea fish down to the deep sea. No. The reason you feel like you're dying or not fully living is because you're designed for depth, yet you continue to exist and force yourself to remain in the shallows. That's why you feel like you have no direction. That's why you feel lost. That's why you feel like you don't belong. Create the depth in your life. Create that depth. And then eventually you'll come to this realization that all of a sudden, without intending to, you've created a space for people to enter who don't need to come up for air. That's why you feel like people abandon you all the time. They can't exist at the depth you naturally live at. They have to come up for air. And then you think everyone just goes away all the time. Everyone always leaves me. Do they leave you or are you drowning them? Without intending to, of course. Do they leave you or are you drowning them, hoping that they'll stay, failing to understand that they have a need that you cannot accommodate? You are not a surface dweller. If you live in the depths, live in the depths. It's not a lonely thing for you to understand. You don't belong in the shallow water. It's when you continuously try and long for and live in that shallowness that you begin to truly feel lonely. Life is not lonely if you don't avoid yourself. Life is not lonely if you do not avoid yourself. Your own companionship should be your most favorite. You should be able to sit in stillness with yourself, by yourself, for yourself. It shouldn't always be a case of someone has to entertain you, someone has to be around. You have to be with someone. You don't have to do anything. You really, really don't. You don't have to do anything or be anyone that you don't believe yourself to be. And I think that's the problem is you don't believe in yourself, period. What's there left to say? What is there left to say? If you can't even have a conversation with yourself, I don't know how someone's going to have a conversation with you. Because how deeply can you truly hear the words, the needs coming out of their mouth if you refuse to even acknowledge yourself? Because at that point, people can argue, like, no, I'm a really good listener. Okay, but why are you listening? Is it a genuine ability to listen? Or are you simply harvesting information that you can weaponize? And let me continue. I'm not saying you are intentionally malicious. What I am saying is there's some of us who do this. And in weaponizing it, what I'm talking about is you're looking for ways in which to make someone your person project. You're not listening to listen. You're looking for a platform from which to leverage your place in their life. Knock that shit off. Tell me where I'm lying. Tell me where that's wrong. And I can talk this depth of truth because I used to do that. I used to make myself available to people just so I could leverage myself. Because if you are dependent on me to solve your problem, now I have a proper place in your life. Now I don't have to worry so much about you tossing me away. It came from a place of lack of self worth, lack of self love, lack of self acceptance, fear of abandonment, fear of rejection. And guess what? The most powerful day of my journey, aside from my children and my husband being part of my life, the most powerful day was when I realized, you know what? It doesn't matter who rejects me. I'm finally in the process of actively learning how to accept myself. That people will come and go as long as I hold on to me. I'll be anchored into the bedrock of my own life. Maybe it's time to begin understanding that the people who are in your life might be external projections of an internal circumstance. Like you are projecting outside of you the things that you need to work on inside of you. All these people who became my people projects, my person projects, they were the people who represented the parts of me that I was too afraid to face, that I was too afraid to begin assessing so I could see the ways in which I had not loved myself enough. Can I say that I've mastered self love? No, I cannot. I haven't. Can I say that I haven't learned how to love myself? No, I cannot. I love myself at this point. But Emmy, you said you haven't mastered self love. Yeah, that's how deeply I've learned to love myself. I've learned to love myself so deeply that despite knowing there's still so much to work on inside me, outside of me, my attitude, my perception, everything, I can still love myself. Oh my God, that's profound. Where I love myself as this evolving art project, this beautiful work of art that's continuously evolving. It's not yet done. I'm not just loving the end product. Oh my gosh, how powerful is that? That I will continue my entire life learning to love myself that much more deeply. Oh, I just got a notification. Your access is confirmed. My access to myself on an even deeper level is now confirmed. That's beautiful. I'm still not a master of self love. I have not mastered it. There's so much of me that I still need to explore. I don't need someone else around to do this. Sometimes it will be lonely. That's okay. That loneliness is usually because now I don't want to do the work that I need to do that I know is approaching. And so I'm looking for someone to use as an excuse to not do the work. I can be honest with myself about my quirks. I'm totally the type of person where I will look for all sorts of things to do so that I don't have to do the one thing that I have to do. I need to create content for a workshop. Let me clean the whole effing house. Down to wiping the baseboards. Let me rearrange furniture. Let me reorganize the closet. Let me make sure that all the hangers are the same color and facing the same way. hmm And then another very important task is making sure that I go through every single hair on my head and trim about half an inch off to protect it from split ends. Yeah, the level of fuckery. I know me. I know myself. I don't have to be angry with myself. I can be frustrated because that is frustrating. But here's the thing, I also understand why I function the way I do. If you give me 5 days to complete a project, I will BS until the night before. If you give me 1 hour to complete a project, I promise you it's gonna be the best work I've ever created. Whew. Mm. And then I will spend the last 15, 20 minutes that I have before it's due just totally tearing myself down like, you trick asshole. You trick asshole. If we made it this good in an hour, like how we just started when we were supposed to, I mean, the fantabulousness of this content would have been far beyond. Trick asshole, why do we do this to ourselves? Because that's what we do. That's what we do. We avoid, avoid, avoid. It's a form of avoidance. It's a form of avoidance. It's going to be okay. Try and understand why you're avoiding. So I'm wondering if this person who's supposed to come forward and is now changing their mind is avoiding, because now they're free to come forward to you. Now they have the freedom to come forward to you, and they're not, because that's the sense that I get. They've redirected. They're not coming forward to you now. So I don't know. Let's see. So Pluto governs renewal and rebirth. It brings to the surface things that have been hidden or are felt deep inside. These are sometimes painful to confront, or they're embarrassing or taboo. So I think all of those things. They're having a hard time confronting their fears. They still don't think they're worthy of you is the problem. I don't know. I'm kind of at a point. Okay, just disclaimer, toxic Pisces energy coming up. I'm kind of at a point where it's like, if you really believe that you're not worthy of me, I mean, I might need to believe you. You do know yourself better than I know you. I might need to believe you at this point. You know, like how many years have they felt that they're not worthy of you? I mean, you can only lie to yourself for so long, right? Maybe they're telling the truth. I don't know. I don't know. This is probably why I'm drawn to cocky ass people. Because I don't see it as cockiness. I'm just like, oh, what do you know? You like totally believe something. I'm not seeing it. I'm gonna wait and see. I'm just gonna observe. Like, what is it? What makes you so cocky? Yeah. Yeah, I like cocky people. I'm not saying I'm gonna stay in your presence prolonged, because if that's all you are and you're just cocky and there's nothing, like there's no reason for you to be cocky, I'm just gonna be like, oh, you suck. You suck. You're nothing what you believe. you, oh baby, you lying to yourself. You just not that fabulous. I might not say it to you, but if the moment I start thinking that, I know it's time to leave. I know it's time to go. We can't be friends. Oh my God. Anyways. Okay. So this person, whoever this is, they feel overly exposed. And it's painful for them to kind of confront the way they've behaved, the way they've made you feel less than with their absence and their actions and decisions, is a sense that I get. And that it's embarrassing for them to face you again. And then taboo. So are you in a relationship? Is that what it is? Like you're in a relationship, their relationship ended. I guess you both were in relationships, not with each other. But now it's like they can't approach you because it's taboo. You're in a relationship. Well, that's nice. That's nice to be respectful like that. Let's see. Many things you've relied upon for always being there may suddenly disappear or leave. Oh, shoot. Pluto represents endings and beginnings. It's not a card of physical death per se. Since our lifetimes, we experience many deaths and new starts. This is simply a time when the decks are being wiped clean for new action. New stuff has to happen. This is the same old song and dance you guys have been in, I'm assuming, for years now, for several years already. It's the same song and dance. I don't know if y'all are playing Aliyah as a soundtrack for your life, the whole back, forth, and forth. Let me see you go. Back, back, forth and forth. Want to see you go. No, no. No more back and forth. Move forward with your life. Stop being in the same holding pattern. Move forward with your life. If you are meant to be together, one day you actually will be. But it won't be because you've sat around and waited. Move forward with your life. There's something about human psychology. Um, there's something about human psychology where it's like when you move forward and you're no longer available, that's when some people are like, okay, now you know what? I missed my chance. Now I got to take my chance. I'm not saying play a game. I'm saying just move forward. Move forward. You cannot remain the same person and expect something different. You just can't. You cannot remain the same exact person. If you never change, shift, grow from the time the two of you walked away from each other until now, it's never going to happen for you. It didn't happen then. It's not going to happen now. If you shift, if you grow, if you become different, if you shift your perception, that's enough to categorically be a different person. There's an opportunity for something to possibly work out. Why? Well, because now there's different opportunities. You already explored the other opportunity. It didn't work out. That first one, it didn't work out. And if you're both going to still be the same person you were during the first try, it's still not going to work out. It's insanity to think that it can work out if there's not been any growth or change, that you guys are going to suddenly come together. You know, people get in their heads this whole storyline of Romeo and Juliet. May I please remind you, those two died at the end of that story. They didn't get to live that happily ever after. They're star-crossed. That means it was not going to happen. It was not going to be a happily ever after. Do you want to be Romeo and Juliet? That's your goal. They didn't end up together. They died together. And not holding each other's hands and you know, no. No. They died in the most heartbreaking way possible. Romeo didn't get the message. Juliet drank some poison or whatever to make her fall asleep, and they thought she died. So when he arrived, he thought she died, and he actually killed himself. And then she woke up, found him dead, and killed herself. Like, that's not, I don't know how that's a love story. That's tragic. That's seriously tragic. We try and take these stories and spin them into something that is uber romantic, right? And this whole storyline. We fantasize about being a Disney princess. And I'm going to need you to look at the true stories that Disney spun and then sold to our children, sold to us as children. Sleeping Beauty was not woken up by a kiss. I'm That's nervous laughter. It's a nasty story, I tell you. Hmm. Sleeping Beauty was not woken up by a kiss. Like all of these storylines that down to the Little Mermaid. Like, no. These are horrendous stories. Horrendous, horrendous, horrendous. And part of the problem is that we try our best to recreate the storylines that we see in movies. You know, those movies are made up, right? They're made up. We think that a healthy relationship is one that never has any disagreement, no arguments, no nothing. How do you grow? You make it your goal to be with someone just like you, right? Because, oh, my twin. My perfect match. They're just like me. And do you like yourself? Do you like yourself? My husband said this to me a few years ago. He was really mad. He was really, really mad. We were arguing. And he said to me, because he got so mad, you want me to be just like you? You don't even like yourself. It's the truth, though. I was having issues with control. I had my perceptions of what a healthy relationship, and there was nothing healthy about it. There was nothing healthy about it. There was absolutely nothing healthy about me trying to convince someone to be more like me when I don't even like me. Like at that time, I didn't even like me. Yep, it's the truth. He wasn't saying things to be hurtful. He was being honest. He was being very, very honest. See, I don't share much about my relationship, my marriage. Like it works because we are honest with each other. It's a real marriage, not this he's just constantly catering to me. He can tell me when I'm out of hand. And I actually listen. See, there's this beautiful thing that happens when a woman is loved in the way that she needs. She begins to blossom, and the sweetness of her essence becomes more evident. It's much easier to experience that, to be bathed in that sweetness. But first, you have to earn that type of honor. You really, truly do. This applies to everyone. When you allow people to be who they are and just accept them as they are, knowing they will change, they will grow. I accept you as you are. I will not tolerate specific types of things, but I accept you as you are. I don't need you to have the same perception as me, to like the same things as me. It's okay for us to be different. Like my husband and I are polar opposites. People think in order to have a successful relationship, like you both have to be spiritual. My husband doesn't like any of this. He doesn't. He accepts it, but he's not interested in spiritual stuff at all. That's not his thing. Oh my God, then how does it work? Did he need to be spiritual for me to be able to love him? For us to be healthy together? Did he? No. No, he doesn't. Not at all. The truth of spirituality is it's lived, not lectured, not learned, not something that you can copy. The truth of real, genuine spirituality is you living that truth, not preaching that truth, not trying to convince as many people as you can, not using it to build a brand from which you can, do this and that. And no, no, no. The truth of spirituality is just living as you are, allowing yourself to unfold in the most beautiful, most organic way, the way in which your soul decides, and letting people to be free to do that on their own time, in their own way. It's a very beautiful thing when the people in your environment love you in such a way that you are free to really be you. You no longer have to hide. You don't have to censor. You don't have to do any of that. That's real love. And here we are, believing that we can't possibly love someone unless, they know about chakras. You want to know something about chakras? They're part of the enslavement system. Let that sink in. They were installed to restrict the amount of energetic flow through your system so that you couldn't ascend properly. Yeah. Oops. Tell me again how you're spiritual and that you need someone spiritual. You didn't even know that, did you? So how spiritual are you actually? All of these things that you believe in, all of these things that you believe in because they sound spiritual, are they actually, are they truth? Or are they half truths? Half truths are more toxic and destructive than a full on lie. Which half did you receive? Which half did you accept as your absolute? Had my husband been spiritual and I told him that, that would have been an argument. He would have been like, "You're crazy. That's not true. Chakras are healthy." Chakras are part of the fallen patriarchy matrix. They're enforced by the seraphim draconian complex. They're part of the system that was installed into the planetary grid in order to phase lock us in third dimensional existence. That's what chakras are. And you have all these people painting chakras as something so beautiful. The never ending blossoming, and, you know, let me put it this way. If each petal is one link in the chain that attaches to the shackles, the ever blossoming chakra is a never ending chain. I'm not allowed to talk about this stuff on YouTube. I'm just not. Let me back up from that topic. If you want to hear me talk more about these types of things that have really been allowed. Ooh, y'all, this is a okay. So I was gonna say you got to sign up for my Soul Sanctuary membership, whatever tier you want. I'm going to be doing exclusive content for the Emmy Evolving podcast channel. It's not going to be on YouTube at all. You need to be part of that membership in order to access it. There's no separate membership. The Soul Sanctuary and Emmy Evolving exclusive podcast, they all tie to that membership. Okay. But here's the thing, my phone just dinged and it says this week only, just for you, no limits, no strings attached. Look inside now. So this week only, I'm making the transition from Patreon to a very private type of platform. Okay. Very, very private. I cannot be attached to large names like that. If I'm going to speak on things to the degree that I know I'm willing to at this point, I can't be part of those types of platforms because they'll take it down. Now, here's the thing. For everyone who's already part of the Patreon, there's going to be a very, very special thing that I'm working on right now as I make that transition. Okay. Because I'm taking it off Patreon, I'm moving it to a completely private platform. So that way it's fully like I can say whatever, whatever, without any risk of anything being taken down. Because, yeah, it's way more expensive for me personally. Like for me, the cost of it every month is way, way more. But the benefit of being able to truly speak completely freely, it's worth it. There are certain things where the price doesn't matter. If I can be as honest as I want to be with zero restrictions, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. So if you're already on Patreon, don't worry, a message is going to go out and I'll let you guys know how to go ahead and do that. And you will get an extra perk as I'm making the transition. I'm hoping to finalize everything this week and be able to privately let you guys know what the perks are and all of that. And then Patreon's going to be taken down and I'll begin sharing how to join. So that way, like, there's just so much that needs to be shared in such a way where for the people who are ready to hear, you'll have the opportunity to. These are not lectures. Uh-uh. Much of the information that I'm talking about, I'm ready to share. You're not going to find it online because I didn't get this information from online. This information comes from CDT plates that were unaltered. Yeah. You're not going to find that online. No one's been given the authority to speak about it online. And when you do, you get taken down, unfortunately. Most people do not know that there are a set of CDT plates that have information that were not corrupted. The information that you're seeing online about CDT plates, it's corrupted information. I can't say how I know this. I can absolutely explain it privately when I finally get all of that situated and we start everything's properly launched. Um, I absolutely will be sharing that. Absolutely. I'll also be sharing a lot more stuff, personal stuff of what soul family I come from and all of that. That's not stuff that I like to talk about in public live streams just because. But yeah, it's not something that I need to hide. I just don't like to talk about in public live streams because then causes drama. It causes a lot of drama because people suddenly, people can't just let people be, is what it is. People just can't let people be. So going back to the reading, um, I think this person, you just need to let them be. Let them be, go through their process of learning whatever it is they need to learn, and then really allow yourself to move forward. Um, if you don't allow yourself to move forward, there's just not much that's really going to happen that's new and exciting and full of life and full of soul. There's not. You are the architect of your life. If you keep trying to insist on using the same blueprints that, had structural integrity issues, it's just not going to work. Different regions require different types of structures, structural supports, all of that. Like in California, most of the houses will not have a basement and the frame will be made of wood, right? You go to the Philippines where it's highly humid and there's no earthquakes typically. Their structures are made of cinder block and cement. Why? The insulation, first and foremost. Secondly, wood has a tendency to rot much faster in humidity. Like all of these different reasons. You keep trying to use the same blueprint, the same game plan that someone told you, yet look online. Person after person after person after person after person, they all are in twin flame separation. They all are being ghosted. They all are in so much pain. Why? The narrative for twin flames, as you know it to be right now, what was allowed to be released into the general population and what has been readily accepted is a draconian half lie. It's a draconian half lie. It makes it easier for organic portals and narcissists to clamp down on the empathic ones. It uses your own empathy, empathic ability to enslave you based on your own free will. You choose that. I know a lot of people are going to be pissed with me saying that. It's the truth. It's the truth. It's the absolute truth. There are only 77,000 pairs of twin rays. Let that sink in. 77,000. Most of them are not in union. Why? You ever see that movie? What is it called? Let me find it. Let me find the name of it. Hancock. Yes, Hancock. Have you guys heard of the movie Hancock? It has Charlize Theron and Will Smith. The premise of Hancock is like some sort of superhero. He lost his memory. He's kind of just like, he befriends a family or something like that. And for some reason, he's kind of vibing with the wife, and the wife's kind of like standoffish, right? Go watch Hancock. Unless it's sanctioned by creation to trigger a trauma induced secretion for the specific region that pair lives in. I'm just saying. Okay. Enlightening your life says, like, WTF, do I have to deal with some BS because this is supposed to be my TF? No, you don't. You're absolutely right. You don't have to deal with BS. Many of us will come across a twin essence to help trigger certain types of growth, because it's a mirror that showcases so beautifully in a very painful way all of the things you didn't want to see about yourself. See, Oscar's seen Hancock. You know what happens when they're in the same space? Yeah, there's only 77,000 pairs of twin rays who have chosen to incarnate together at this time, because this is a period of great change. This is an accelerated accretion cycle that is helping to usher along the evolution of the human consciousness, not the divine consciousness of soul, the limited consciousness of human development. It's important for us to allow ourselves the freedom to really just release ourselves from a lot of these teachings. I mean, if you really want to know more, and these were kind of affected as well, but not as badly, in my opinion. The Nag Hammadi, the Bhagavad Gita, Upanishads, Vedic texts. Don't listen to someone's interpretation of it. Typically, their interpretation is ego based. They just want to sound smart. They just want to sound smart. They want to be worshiped. They want a following. I don't give a damn about any of that. Literally. All I want is for you to feel powerful in your own life. Just feel powerful being yourself. Spend enough time with me so that you can feel like you're my equal, because you are. I don't need to be above you. You know what they do to people who are elevated above others? You know what they do to them? I'm good off that. I'm perfectly fine being shoulder to shoulder with you. I feel very at home there. I feel very at home there. There's nothing wrong with us being equals. I don't need to be ahead of you. I don't need to be above you. I don't need to be any of that. And this is how we change ourselves and then change the world. Because if you can see me as your equal, then I can see you as my equal, despite our differences, or in celebration of those differences. How do they separate us again? When we let go of this hierarchy, when we let go of this need to exist in a way that we are told to exist in, why are you looking for a twin, first and foremost? From the very first time that I heard about this concept, and I thoroughly explored it for many, many years before coming across my twin ray, I came across quite a few different twins. At no point did I ever feel or think or need to be in any type of romantic connection with any of them. It's just like, oh my God, I found you. Ah, how cool. Okay, I gotta go. Every single one. Why do you believe you need to find one? Why are you holding on to the person that you're holding on to? Why are you pining away from them? Because you believe that they'll be this for you? Honey, if you can't be this for yourself, you could never, never place this type of burden on someone else and call it love. That is not love. That is not love. That's codependency. That's toxicity masked by some romantic storyline. Love yourself in that way. Show up for yourself in that way. Be patient with yourself in that way. Let yourself have the type of space and time to grow in the way you need. What's there left to say? Nothing. Maybe we've said too much. Maybe it's time for us to just be reminded. Feeling is much more powerful than simply saying. Let's do this really quick. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to let you feel my energy. For those who are listening to this recording via podcast, please make sure you're not driving or operating machinery. So, I can tell you everything I can and want to say about my energy. It's a completely different experience when I just let you feel it. Much of my energy I keep very cloaked and very to myself. Even when I do energetic work, I keep my personal energy cloaked and to myself. I rarely let people feel my actual energy, and this is the one time I'm going to share this part of me with you. Why? So that you can hopefully feel that if I can love you to the degree that you feel from me, you'll begin to remember that you need to love yourself at least that deeply, if not more. Take a deep breath in. I'm going to play some music for us. Deep inhale, slow exhale. Here goes. Inhale the light of your truth. Exhale the darkness of your doubt. Inhale the light of your truth. Exhale the darkness of your doubt. See yourself sitting in a very dimly lit space. You feel very safe, very loved, very protected. Focus on your chest. See and feel a warmth. Feel your left cheek. Your forehead. And your chest. I see you. I feel you. Feel your energy respond to me. Feel it in your crown, down your entire body. Feel it wrapping you like a warm burrito. You're loved. You matter. I see you. I feel you. Take one more deep breath in. Slow exhale out. How do you guys feel? It's a whole different experience to feel the truth versus just listening to words and not knowing if they're true. MF says, I want to cry. It's okay to cry. To the people who tell you, don't cry, crying doesn't solve problems. You don't cry to solve a problem. You cry to release the frustration, the disappointment, so that you can free yourself to find the solution. It's okay to cry. It's okay to feel. It's okay to understand how loved and acknowledged you actually are. So many of us are so starved of that type of connection. So starved, so thirsty, so depleted, to the degree that we would latch on to whoever might possibly, just maybe, be able to see us, to validate us. You're looking for someone to save you from something they do not know exists. That internal war needs to end. Stop looking for the peacemaker outside of yourself. There is nothing left to say. It's now time to feel. Feel your way through your life. Allow your logic to temper that feeling. You can't simply feel and you can't simply be all logic. You have to live in this beautiful space that's in between the two. I mean it, you guys. I see you. I feel you. Those are not just words. That's a declaration of my truth, my experience, my life as I live it. There's no reason you can't live your life in that way. Feeling and knowing you are whole in yourself. There is no other half. There are souls who were created to be complementary to your own. That is it. A complement, a counterpart, not your missing half. You are not missing anything except your truth. So find your truth. Allow yourself to come back home to you. Allow the people who can help you better understand the gravity of you to find their way back to you. Okay? This is not something you will force. This is not something you can plan. This is something you get out of your own way to receive. Your soul knows who these people are. Your soul will bring them to you. Have zero expectations. Enjoy the time you spend together for as long as you are together. Not everyone is meant to stay in your life for the entirety of your life. Nor are you obligated to do that for other people. So when someone is good to you, when someone makes you feel things no one else can't, or no one else can, you can't let yourself cling on to that and force them to feel obligated to stay. The solution, what are you supposed to do? Love them for as long as they're there and wish them the absolute best when they no longer are. Love in a way that sets all of you free. It's the only way to love. So with that, I'm going to get going. You guys, please check out the Patreon. I know I just said that I'm going to be taking the Patreon down soon. Everyone who is a member of Patreon, you do get a special perk as I switch over to a completely private platform. Okay. I will still be live streaming on YouTube. It's going to be the same old censored stuff because YouTube doesn't allow me to talk about things. If you're interested in conversation that's much more elevated than I could ever possibly have in a public forum like this, go to Patreon, sign up. In the next week or so, I'll have everything finalized. And we're going to take things to a whole nother level. Your understanding of yourself and your journey is super important. And I can't support you in that way as long as I have duct tape over my mouth. I just can't. I don't want to play by these rules anymore. So I'm not going to. Creating my own rules, my own platform, a place where we can actually have a sanctuary together, a place where we don't have to worry about other things and intentions of malicious people. I'm not doing this out of fear. I'm finally ready to take one little step further into my light and my power. We don't do things out of fear, you guys. We make decisions based on how much more of our personal power and personal truth we have the courage to reclaim. This is a major time. Major, major time. Be fully present for it. Be fully, fully present for it. From the deepest depths of my heart's oceans, I love you guys. Please give this video a thumbs up. Please share it out. Share it far and wide. Share it on all sorts of social media. Still on shadow ban here on YouTube. That's okay. These bitches can ban me all they want. I'm still going to speak. And once my platform is set up, I'm going to speak very powerfully. I'm going to share a lot of things that you didn't know you were starving to know. It's time to get fed. All right, guys, I love you. Enjoy your day. I hope everyone has an amazing rest of their day. I'll see you very, very soon. Tomorrow, I come live at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time for the Soul Sanctuary podcast. Please do check me out on Patreon, patreon.com/Soul Sanctuary 23. Excuse me. When I do have the platform set up, you'll be able to find it and sign up on the Soul Sanctuary.love. That's the website, the Soul Sanctuary.love. Both the Emmy Evolving content and the Soul Sanctuary exclusive content, they will be accessible together in one membership. There's no need for two memberships. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Just one. Just one. So I'll see you guys very soon.